Hi, my name is Omonye. I'm a student athlete at the University of Pennsylvania, and this was my roster photo when I first entered, little 17-year-old freshman me. And this was my letter when my leave of absence got approved like 2 years ago. A lot happened between that roster photo and when I took my leave of absence. I was going through a lot of things, but one thing I was definitely going through was imposter syndrome. Coming to a school like Penn, huge culture shock. I didn't feel like I belonged here. And I'm making this video so that people who are going through similar things, going to top schools like mine, don't go through what I went through, at least in terms of imposter syndrome. So the first thing that I did that really changed like how I was feeling about myself and my place at Penn was affirmations and a success journal. I know you've heard positive affirmations like everywhere, like, oh,
positive affirmations this, positive affirmations that.
but they work. I was a skeptic of positive affirmations, but I did it because it's like everyone's saying to do it. It really does help. I used to have like stickies everywhere of like, you belong at Penn, you know, you're pretty, you're smart, like you're capable, just you can do it, like things like that. And that really helped me because eventually I'm like, if you're seeing it every day, start to believe it. And also that comes into with having like a success journal. If you're anything like me, when it comes to imposter syndrome and being in like a really good position, you're kind of like, oh, it was my mistake. It was just luck that that I'm in this position now. Cause I know I was like that with Penn, that I was like, oh man, I'm the diversity admin. They let me here by mistake. I'm gonna be found out as a fraud. I had all these thoughts. I remember calling my Toronto coach back home like, sir, I don't know what to do. But one thing that I started doing was the success journal. I started writing down my successes because I didn't know how to celebrate myself. So that's how I started doing it. Like, had a 4.0 in high school, did really well in the SAT. I'm doing really well here at Penn, joining labs, working track team. And by having that journal, it was a reminder like, hey, I didn't accidentally make it here. Like, I put in the work, right? Which goes on to like the second thing, that it's not luck that you made into the position that you're there. Like, luck could be a factor, but it's not like the whole thing. The next thing that I did was having an alter ego in a way and faking it till you made it. My imposter syndrome stopped me from doing a lot of things, which in turn kind of confirmed that imposter syndrome. Like, so something I did was the creation of an alter ego and faking it till I made it. You know, one thing I was really scared of was walking on Locust Walk, which is the main walk at my school, because I'm like, everyone's thinking about me. I'm not good enough. I'll be so scared to answer things in class. Like, I was scared to apply for labs because I'm like, they're gonna look at this email and laugh. So I created an alter ego. My alter ego was Jennifer, which is just my middle name, sorry. But I was like, oh, Jennifer, she's confident. She doesn't care. If they reject me, it doesn't matter because it wasn't Omonye. It was Jennifer. And that helped me in terms of like faking it till I made it. Because eventually I'm like, oh, that didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I felt more confident like doing things as Miss Omonye. So fake it till you make it and alter ego. Those are two things that can also help with the imposter syndrome and also like anxiety too. Reframing. This was huge for me. I came to Penn, and I think I said this before, I'm Black, student athlete, didn't come from the best area of Toronto, don't have a lot of money like a lot of these kids here. And I looked at these like all negatives in a way of like saying like, oh, I'm not good enough, like, and I used them to really put myself down, you know what I mean? But I started reframing them in a terms of like looking at them as like a positive, you know? So for example, not coming from the best background, right? I gained a lot of resilience, you know, and that's something that can't really be taught. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm resourceful with money because I ain't really had it like that. You see, these are positives that like help me feel a bit more like equal and also increase my self-confidence and thus lessen my imposter syndrome here at Penn. Another thing too is meeting myself where I was at. I realized a lot of my imposter syndrome too was thinking I should get 4.0, I need to be like the best in every class I get, I need to beat the curve, and that put a lot of stress on me, and not being able to reach those goals made me feel worse about myself. So you know what I did? I made more realistic goals. I like met myself where I was. Like, for example, in track, I just got injured and I just ran a kilometer today. I was very happy about it, you know what I mean? And that's because I'm meeting myself where I'm at. You know, I'm not thinking like, dang, like last year I was able to do 5 kilometers and I can only do 1. Last year I wasn't injured, like I was able to walk properly. So that's a huge thing, meeting yourself where you're at. Even in school, you know, it was like you're struggling in a class and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna meet myself where I'm at on this exam. If I get an 85, great. And then I can do the next one instead of saying, oh, I need to get a 97 on the next exam. Like, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, and you're gonna make yourself feel worse about it too. Like, for example, last semester was the first semester I came back from my leave, and I told myself, like, this is where I started meeting myself where I was at. I was like, okay, first semester back, might be a bit of a transition back into Miss Penn life. So I'm just gonna aim for a B in my class. B. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it was true, right? I just was like, I'm gonna get a B. And by aiming with that, I felt confident. I felt happier when I was able to surpass that goal of B. And I ended up doing way better than a 3.0 last semester, right? That's why you should meet yourself where you're at. Another thing too, going where you are celebrated. I think this also goes with academics, just in relationships too. Before I took my leave, I was with a lot of people that were like, I thought I was overachiever. They were touching the ceiling when it came to their overachievements, and I'm very happy for them. But it was in a sense of like, I always felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like, I was inferior. And I think that was kind of like the vibe too, of like, they're getting their internships at like Google and Snapchat, and I got a lab at Penn Med. And you see how bad that sounds? I got a whole lab position at Penn Med. But because I wasn't going where I was celebrated, I thought that was like, whatever. So the one good thing about my leave is it helped me to reframe my friendships and get new friends where like that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, this is great. We're doing well, right? Even in terms of people, I am, if you didn't already know, a Black woman. And because of that, like, some people can be kind of mean, and I used to be surrounded by these groups. Like, if I find the screenshot, I'll probably like put it around here. But this guy called me a monkey. Did that help me in any type of way, making myself feel better when I came to Philly? Not at all. But I do not surround myself around those people. And look at life. God bless. Another thing too, okay, is realizing you're not the only one. You know, I think like you look around at people, everyone looks like they have their whole thing together. It's like, wow, that person got no problems. They know everything. And I'm just here. What am I doing? That's not the case. That is not true. Everyone has their own things that they're dealing with, and everyone has their own problems, you know? And realizing that for me helped me calm down, because I'm like, okay, people are going through the same anxieties, you know, they have the same, like, people maybe not have the same family issues, but they could have similar feelings in regards to their family issues, you know. There's something that I have that somebody who has all the money in the world is like, wow, I wish I had that, you know what I mean? So people are having their own issues and having their own insecurities about things, and by realizing you're not the only one with insecurities helped me, at least with my imposter syndrome. So like, in terms of answering questions in class or like asking questions in class, I'm like, somebody else is probably having this thought, but they're too scared to like say anything about it because they don't want to be like, oh, like I'm dumb, this or that or whatever. So that's another thing, realizing that you're not the only one. And this is a little bit of a bonus, but I got a lot of this from two things: God and therapy, right? Therapy really did help me to reframe my whole mindset, you know what I mean? And it's lovely because number one, overthinker. I still am, but it's working. I'm getting better at it. And God too, he has really helped me so much, you know, like I put my faith in God, I pray, and it's been great for me. You know, there's a verse that I say all the time. It's like the stereotypical student athlete verse, but it's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me, and I believe that, you know. So when I'm going into a place and I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, okay, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of boldness and of a sound mind. I can do it. I am Jennifer right now, and Jennifer's gonna walk in and she's not gonna feel fear. It's great, you know, but I really do, if you made it all the way here, thank you so much for listening. And I really do hope that this helped you, because like I went through so much mental turmoil, like my first like section at Penn and everything like that, and I wish I had somebody to tell me these things. And I don't really want no one to go through what I went through at Penn and everything. And not even just Penn, like a lot of these top schools I learned, they're kind of like this. So if you're in a similar situation, I wish you all the best. And thank you for watching the video. Bye.